so many names. I'll just start recording. Look, one way to look at it, just like Krishna has different names, many different names. He's got unlimited names. So you have Vishnu Sahasranama. So why doesn't God only have one name? Why does he have so many names? Sometimes Prabhupada would say, like, well, he has many names according to his different qualities, according to so many different qualities, so many different pastimes, his relationship with so many different devotees. You know, like Krishna's name, Yashoda Nandan, because his mother is Yashoda. Nanda Nandan, because his father is Nanda. Vasudev Nandan, because he is the son of Vasudev. Devaki Nandan, son of Devaki, like that. Parthasarathi, because he was the friend of Arjuna, driving Arjuna's chariot. So his name is Parthasarathi. Remember, one of Arjuna's names is Partha, which means he's the son of Pritha. So Arjuna's name is Partha. And Sarathi means Ratha. Ratha means chariot. So Krishna is with Arjuna on his chariot, like that. So just like Krishna has so many names like that, so Arjuna also has many names. So we also, may have quite a few names. As you know, I have a birth name, Aaron, and her spiritual name, Abhay. My wife calls me names. They're not very nice, so I won't say them. You rascal.
Can we give it a Krishna that another name, whatever we look at it?
No, you can't just make up a name for God. It has to be, of course, devotees, a pure devotee. Like in Vrindavan, out of affection, the cowherd woman would address Krishna when he was in a baby form as Kana. Kana, like that. So out of affection, they would address him. That's endearing. Do you know, Jayanti, the meaning of Kana?
No.
No, I am.
Just I
heard
know
it's just
another name of
Krishna.
I heard it's a very endearing kind of name, very from affectionate, out from the heart, like that. So yeah, pure devotees, they can call Krishna by a specific name, and but if we're not on that platform of being a pure devotee, we can't just imagine. Like in the purport of this 10th chapter that we're on, text number 11, in the end of the purport, towards the end of the purport, is third paragraph. Prabhupada says the Lord tells Arjuna that basically there is no possibility of understanding the supreme truth, the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead, simply by speculating. For the supreme truth is so great that it is not possible to understand him or to achieve him simply by making a mental effort. Man can go on speculating for several millions of years, and if he is not devoted, if he is not a lover of the supreme truth, he will never understand Krishna or the supreme truth. Only by devotional service is the supreme truth Krishna pleased, and by his inconceivable energy he can reveal himself to the heart of the pure devotee. The pure devotee has always Krishna within his heart, and with the presence of Krishna, who is just like the sun, the darkness of ignorance is at once dissipated. This is a special mercy rendered the pure devotee by Krishna. So a pure devotee can understand Krishna and can address Krishna, can see Krishna, can talk to Krishna, can give a name to Krishna. But outsiders that don't have a personal relationship with Krishna, they can't just say, oh, we're going to call him Iggledy Bloop, like that, make up some name.
But
like that.
how do you know somebody does or doesn't have a relation with Krishna? Only Krishna knows. It's 101. if someone has got a relation with the Krishna, we're never going to find out. Only Krishna knows. You know, if you remember Bhagavad Gita by every single word, doesn't mean, or someone who remember half of it, or maybe one shlok, he could be the great devotee. We're never going to find out. But if somebody will, you know, call a Krishna with his love of heart, and there is no definition of pure devotee. Pure devotee,
There
only
is.
Krishna.
Yeah, well, how can you say that? There is.
I mean,
there's so many.
That'll be a textbook we're talking about. But there is some devotees
Yeah,
out there.
what's wrong with the textbook? That's how you know.
I understand.
You know, from the textbook, you can understand who's a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, through the law book, you can understand who's a lawyer.
But some
there's
people,
no difference. You can't discriminate between the guru, the sadhu, and the shastra. They're all aligned with each other. They're non-different. You know, the shastra, the scripture is explaining the sadhu and the guru, what is their nature. And the guru and the sadhu what are they talking according to the scripture? They're only talking according to the scripture.
Some people are uneducated in India, but they are a great devotee. They don't know how to read and write.
And that was also mentioned earlier in this purport. Let's look at that. So the same text 11. But even the first paragraph in the middle towards the end. But even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literatures or of his spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within the heart. So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one can carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. So, there's the criteria of being a pure devotee. You're engaged in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. So that has to be there. That has to be there.
If he's a Western devotee, and then he's like, he called Krishna with the different English name with the baby or whatever he loved with them or things like that, he may not be calling that. So, which is okay. He could be a great devotee, and then but he maybe make his own name or something.
Yeah, but the quality of a devotee is you follow in the footsteps of other devotees.
Mm-hmm.
You follow in the footsteps of other devotees. So, like also I mentioned about offering prayers. How do we offer prayers? We follow the prayers given by the previous acharyas. We repeat them. Mm-hmm. Why in Mangalarti, why do we always do one prayer? Why don't we just make up different prayers? We always sing Mangalarti starting Samsara Dava Nalalita Loka. Why? Because that song was recommended by a previous acharya called Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So we follow Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. We don't just say, "Oh, I feel like singing a different song for Mangalarti," and no, we don't do that. We stick to that. And then greeting the deities. Then we say, offer Guru Puja, Shri Guru Charana Padma. We always sing that 365 days a year. And at 7 o'clock at night, we sing Kiva Jaya Jaya Gora Chande Aratika Soba, prayer given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I say, I feel like singing a different one. That's not pure devotional service. You have to follow the previous acharyas.
Yeah, but if Prabhupada was a pure devotee, if Prabhupada would like to, he would have to address Krishna with someone named from his heart, and which is not mentioned in the book, which is okay or not okay.
What name do you want to call Krishna?
I'm not a pure devotee. Once I'll be pure devotee.
No, but what name are you thinking about calling him?
I know the name. It's in my heart. And then when I'm alone, I just call with that name. It just it's between me and Krishna. It's one-on-one, no one in the van. I just call him with that name and then pray and offering that food and whatever I cook there, or maybe in prayer in my own Hindi or whatever's there. And because he always stand with the three bend in his body, one with the neck, one with the waist, one with the feet. So I called him Tribhangi Lal. Like he twists maybe Jayanti
Yeah, but that's in the
understand that.
scriptures. That's in the scriptures also.
Yeah. So, but I just make my own name because I don't read fully scriptures there. But I know he stand with the three angle with the angle in there, and I just made my own, and then just pray with that. And then I'm not a great devotee, but like Prabhupada was a great devotee.
Then you don't. So you. I'm not saying this, but I'm just wondering. That means you'll start chanting Hare Tribhangilal.
No. But sometimes when I had a conversation with him, and like with my own time and things like today, what happened there? I put my car at that wheel alignment and the Maitland Road, and I went there Prashadam at the Bhakti tree. And I was thinking, I was super hungry. And I said, if there is an Indian lady, any Indian will be there, I'll talk in Hindi. And I say, can you put more rice in there, please? I'm very hungry. And when I went to Bhakti tree, I've seen bread. I said, no, I'm not going to ask him. Anyway, I'll just ask, okay, how much is the rice and curry? And then I just paid for the rice and curry. When he was put in the plate, he said, Prabhuji, do you want more rice? Oh my Lord. You want extra rice? Are you hungry? Are you more hungry? Oh my, I was almost crying. I said, yes, Prabhuji. Then he gave me extra rice and extra sabji. And he never asked me. See, then I said, thank you to Tribhangilal. You know, because he just went there straight, from Jagannath to his heart. And he asked me that, Prabhuji, are you extra? Oh my Lord. I said, oh my God, I don't want anything more. So anyway,
I think you're spending too much time on your own, Gulshan.
Of course, I'm on my own. Yeah, in my van on my own. And I'm in my own world.
I understand what Gulshan is saying now. No, that's okay. There's no problem. The sincere devotees, has their special relationship with Krishna, and that's fine. That's no problem.
But going back to Bhakti Mala's original question, I also would like to add something to that. I mean, like how the devotee likes to glorify Krishna, and therefore in the process of glorifying Krishna, he's addressing Krishna in using various names. Similarly, Krishna is also glorifying his devotee by addressing him by various names and showing the various qualities of Arjuna, isn't it? Because like in one place he's calling him Gudakesha, who's like the conqueror of sleep.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that, yeah.
Or Savyasachi, which is like being ambidextrous, isn't it? So
yeah, shooting arrows very straight, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I see that also as a possibility.
Nice,
using different names for one other thing was also you were asking about Kana. I just looked it up. So Kana in Sanskrit means young. It also means British.
Means what?
Young. One is young, and it also means blackish.
Blackish, okay.
Yeah.
Sham Sundar. So the first Krishna gave it the mercy or the good eyesight to Arjuna, and then he shoot the arrow straight. Then he gave it as a name, because it's given by Krishna anyway. He couldn't shoot the arrow without the mercy of Krishna. First he gave it that a quality, and after that he gave it a name. Where did he get this quality from? Krishna. It's
the group thought that he might do it because when you're familiar with somebody, you give them other names and things like that. Like you address them in different ways. Like we were talking about Bob. Well, Helen calls Bob Rob, and we call him Bob, and then she has other names for him because they're really close. So they were saying, is it because they've got a close relationship that he addresses him in so many different ways as well?
True.
Yeah.
They were just asking,
Yeah. Nice observation.
Yeah, and I seen that one day Jayanti calling Abhay Prabhu, baby, come here.
I mean, it's a little bit different because see that like the names of the devotee and the names of the Lord according to their qualities and that. Whereas we just have some name like Rob or Bob or whatever, it doesn't really mean anything. So it doesn't really have any real substance to it. But every word in Vedic culture is very deep and has so much meaning and everything. So let's just look at chapter 1, text 24. And Prabhupada is going to explain something which really fits in with what Bhaktimana's question is. So chapter 1, text 24. And the name Gudakesha is there, one of Arjuna's names. And another name, Bharata, like that, Bharata. And another one of Krishna's names, Hrishikesha. Hrishikesha. Yeah. But what's really interesting is the purport. So that there's a reason why Prabhupada's pointing out there is a reason why Krishna is addressing Arjuna by the name Gudakesha, which means conquering of sleep. So why Krishna called him by that name, there's a reason why he called him by that name, not just Arjuna or Parthasari or something. So let's read that purport like that. Someone can read the purport.
In this verse, Arjuna is referred to a Guru Kesha. Gura means sleep, and one who conquers sleep is called Guru Kesha. Sleep also means ignorance. So Arjuna conquered both sleep and ignorance because of his friendship with Krishna. As a great devotee of Krishna, he could not forget Krishna even for a moment, because this is the nature of the devotee. Either in waking or sleeping, a devotee of the Lord can never be free from thinking of Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastime. This, the devotee of Krishna can conquer both sleep and ignorance simply by thinking of Krishna constantly. This is called Krishna consciousness or samadhi. As Rishikesha, or a director of the senses and mind of everything living entity, Krishna could understand Arjuna's purpose in placing the chariot in the midst of armies. Thus he did so and spoke as follows.
So depending on the circumstances, the Lord addresses his devotee by a particular name.
Well, then he will call me Joker if he has to. If he has to call me Joker.
Yeah.
That's perfectly right. I joke around.
That's great.
Like one time, Prabhupada mentions why Krishna addressed Arjuna as sign of Bharata was because to remind Arjuna that he's a descendant of the great king, Emperor Bharat. And that's a great responsibility that, I'm an ancestor of this great king, so I also have to act like him. So that was what Prabhupada was pointing out, why he addressed him as sign of Bharata, to make him step up. That he can't, because what was Arjuna going through? I don't want to fight and like that. I don't want to hurt my relatives. I'm going to leave the battlefield. So Krishna said, "Oh, sign of Bharata," just to remind him, you can't do that, Arjuna. Look, you're a descendant of this great king. To be so ashamed of you. Your great great grandfather, or whatever, would be so ashamed that you just leave the battlefield and that. Come on, man. You're the descendant of Bharat. Come on, step up. You can do better than that. You got his blood and you're running through your veins, sort of thing. So, there's a particular reason why a particular name is given in a particular circumstance. I tell you, these personalities are so intelligent. They're so intelligent. There's a reason behind every word they use. It's loaded with meaning and for a specific purpose to, help us in some way like that. And one time Prabhupada points out why Arjuna calls Krishna by the name Govinda, which means he gives pleasure to the cows and the senses. And Prabhupada says that he calls Krishna by the name Govinda in that particular situation because he's saying, come on, you're Govinda, you're supposed to please my senses. And Prabhupada points out that actually we are meant to please Krishna's senses. But Arjuna's Arjuna's appealing to Krishna. Come on, you're supposed to please our senses. But yeah, we please his senses first, and then he pleases our senses. But yeah, Arjuna's, pulling on that string to try to encourage Krishna. Come on. You asking me to do something very, very that's going to make my life miserable, but you're supposed to make me happy like that. So Prabhupada makes a bit of fun out of that.
When they do a Rath Yatra in Puri, the devotees, they talk to Jagannath. It's very very different language, like he talking to a person. And come on, get up on the chariot. What are you doing here? We're doing all this. Look like, how can you talk a god, someone like that? But their attachment and their relation with the Jagannath is different. And then they talk sometimes they get angry. And with the Jagannath, and they probably say different things in there, but with the love. So with the love, you can say anything. And
yeah, when love is there.
Yeah, so Krishna accept that.
But they actually have a relationship with Jagannath. But where you can't do that is if you don't have a relationship. Like most Western people, they don't know who God is. They don't know who God is. So someone that doesn't know who God is, you can't make up a name. I mean, it's not going to be accepted. But they're like those, they're direct servants of Jagannath. They have a relationship. They can have some name, whatever. But you can't just speculate. That's the point Prabhupada makes in this purport. Only when Krishna is pleased by your devotion, then all these things can happen. Okay, let's off.
Goshan hasn't made up his name though, is that right? Goshan's comes from the scriptures.
It's from the scripture. Tribhanga is.
I don't know is the scripture. I just made it up.
Places.
Now I know you're telling me the scriptures, but I did not know. I didn't read. I just made it up.
You would have heard at some point the word
I heard my mom.
You've heard the word
I heard from my mom.
Yeah, so there you go.
I said, okay, yeah. So anyway.
And she heard it from some guru or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Which has come from the scriptures. So
it's
okay. It's coming down through authority.
Yeah. Fine.
Okay, let's offer respect to Prabhupada. That's all right. Om Jnana Timandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master has opened my eyes with a shining torchlight of transcendental knowledge. Therefore, for my respectful obeisances under his lotus feet. So we've just finished the last of the seed verses last week. So for a devotee, Krishna reveals himself. That's the main point. We have to come to the point of being a pure devotee of the Lord. Then he will reveal himself to us. And otherwise, it's not possible. Like I was just saying, Prabhupada mentions that through mental speculation, in millions of years, in lifetimes, you're not going to understand God. But as soon as you engage in pure devotional service, then Krishna becomes pleased, and then he gives you the understanding. Gulshan's favorite verse, 10:10. To those who constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give them the understanding by which they come to me. That's the process. We have to become a devotee if we want to understand God, and then he will reveal himself. He's so unlimited, so great, it's not possible with our limited mind and senses to understand God. But if he chooses to reveal himself, then something we can understand. Not 100% of Krishna, but at least partially enough to, develop a relationship with him. So this is the main point. If we want to understand God, we have to engage in devotion service. Interesting, in the last paragraph, let's read that. That's very important, that last paragraph of 10:11.
Due to contamination of the materials association, through many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust quickly clears and one elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. The ultimate goal, Vishnu, can be attained only by the chant and by devotion service, and not by mental speculation or argument. The pure devotee does not have to worry about the material necessities of life. He need not to be anxious, because when he removes the darkness of his heart, everything is provided automatically by Supreme Lord, who is pleased by loving devotion service of the devotee. This is the essence of teaching Bhagavad Gita. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a soul completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord and engage himself in the pure devotion service. As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely free from all kind of materialistic endeavors.
This is very important, because Krishna says, that Prabhupada says, this is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So what's the essence of the Bhagavad Gita? What do you think? What's Prabhupada saying is the essence? What is that? What is the essence?
It's once, because it's just millions of lifetime we might be having, like once you start chanting in there, we all clear past lives, contamination or dirt or everything, and then you'll become a pure devotee if you chant Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhupada said if you constantly chant Hare Krishna, the dust quickly clears, and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. So the dust of what? What is that? The contamination of material association through many millions of births.
Yeah.
One's heart is always covered by the dust of materialism. So that when we chant Hare Krishna, that dust of materialism, lust, greed, anger, envy, pride, illusion, madness, so all these contaminations are cleared. Prabhupada says the dust quickly clears, and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. And that knowledge, like it's mentioned, Krishna gives that pure knowledge in the heart of the pure devotee. Krishna gives that knowledge, and then once the devotee's heart is full of knowledge, then he no more ignorance in their life, no more of this lust and greed and anger and envy and so forth, and just continue to develop his relationship with Krishna. And then part of what he's saying, the essence is, so the devotee's chanting. If the devotee's chanting, then how is he going to maintain? How is he going to maintain his or her body?
Well,
Because
once
that's
you
the question,
chanting
right?
to Krishna,
If I fully devote my life to Krishna, then who's gonna look after me? Now, I'm
Krishna,
not looking after myself anymore.
no,
I'm just
Krishna will
devoting
look
my
after
life to
you.
Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna's
will
going to
look
look
after
after you.
Of course.
Krishna's going to look after you.
Yeah.
And we've seen that, and I've personally seen that. I've mentioned I don't do
So,
any
so,
work.
so hang on. So that means but that would mean that you're actually, even though you've surrendered to Krishna, actually means you're still doing your duty. It's not that you just sit down and then you're just going to be sitting and chanting. I'm surrendered to Krishna. All I do is chant.
It could be. Sometimes it happens like that. The devotee might just be chanting or reading or whatever like that. I'll tell you
Okay,
what,
I'll
there's
do
one.
that.
No,
I'll do
yeah,
that
just a sec.
now.
I'm going to address your concern. What about like Mahavishnu Goswami? He went to old body, Gujarati body. He just sat down in Dwarka, and he wanted to build a temple there in Dwarka, but he didn't have any money or anything like that. He just sat down and read Bhagavatam. One rich man walked past him saying, "Oh, look at the sadhu. What a great sadhu." He's just reading Bhagavatam. And he came up to him and said, "Oh, Maharaj, I would like to do some service. Can you give me some service?" And Mahavishnu Maharaj said, "Oh, I want to build a temple here for Krishna." He said, "Oh, I'll build a temple for you."
Yeah.
So he just went and built the temple, for the Maharaj, and he was just reading Bhagavatam. He didn't collect any money. He didn't make any effort to make any money, and
True.
Krishna just arranged to build the temple.
Yeah.
So many things happen like this. Many things happen
Mm.
where the devotees, all the needs get provided, automatically. Okay, and this is what's mentioned here, automatically. See, Prabhupada even uses that word. Everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord, who is pleased by the loving devotional service of the devotee. This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. This is the essence.
You can look at
That
that.
you just serve Krishna, completely devote your life to Krishna, and then Krishna will just automatically take care of all your necessities. I mean, ordinarily,
is a wonderful example. Prabhupada, he went there all the way. All he was doing chanting.
He had $8. You know, he had 40 rupees, which is $8 US.
In the multi-million-dollar empire been built. Only he was chanting. That's all he wanted to do.
Yeah. Prabhupada said he would rent a place for a temple. He didn't know how he was going to pay the rent.
But he was
and it just come automatically.
Yeah.
One time, some disciples were in so much anxiety. How are we going to pay the rent for the temple like that? And they were chanting japa early in the morning. And money just started to float out of the air of their heads. It's crazy. Money just floated down. And they looked, maybe someone dropped it out of the building window or something. No one was there. It was early in the morning. No one was there. Money was just floating out of the blooming sky.
Yes,
you know, so incredible things can happen. Incredible things. You know, it's amazing. Oh, it's crazy. I saw this video of this devotee just recently, Brahmachari in America. He sold 61 Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita sets in one day. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's crazy. Not giving them away, he sold them. And plus heaps of other small books and everything like that in one day. God. Actually, he started late and he had lunch and everything. He hadn't even done any books until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I thought, oh, I better get started now. I'm not going to do very well. But from 1 o'clock in the afternoon till the night time, he distributed 61 sets of books, plus all these other books. He broke the world record by a mile. You know, like that is just crazy. I mean, anything's possible. Krishna can just do amazing things.
It's a one day. I've made myself a challenge in the Bhakti tree. I said I'm gonna sell 20 mango lassi in a lunch, and then I was asking everyone. By 2 o'clock we close. I sold 19. So Krishna was great. Jagannath, I said, Jagannath, please help me. I want to sell 20 mango lassi in this lunch break. I ended up selling 19.
And you drank the 20th one, right?
Yeah, I was just
I did. No, it's true actually. Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
No, amazing things can happen. Amazing things can happen. And like I said, that Krishna arranged that my guru has rich parents, and then he's provided all his necessities. Krishna arranged for us that we have some rich connections.
It's like when we had a yoga, you remember that we used to have a Tuesday, Wednesday yoga. So one day, and then I said that we can fit maximum 40 people in this, all the way to the toilet. And then I said, well, today, Jagannath, help me. I want to put 40 people in there. 39 people came, and I was counting because I have to tell the number to Vishwambar to make that prasadam. And I said, 39, Jagannath. I said, 40th. And there's one guy came with a plaster in his feet. He said, can I join the yoga? I was looking at him. I said, you can't even bend your knees. He said, yeah, whatever possibly I can do that. And he came inside and he paid $15 and he had a yoga and he had a prasadam and he gone. He's just like, he couldn't do that asana with bending knees because his one knee has got a plaster. Can you believe that? He came, he said, I want to join that. Oh, I said, my Lord, how can you be? He said, well, I said, there's not much room. He's sitting next to the toilet over there. And he did the yoga. See, that was
we've seen, we've seen at the Bhakti tree so many miracles, that
100%.
We didn't know how we were going to, like we mentioned it last week or the week before, we didn't know how we were going to pay the mortgage, how we were going to renovate the Bhakti tree, make the commercial kitchen, everything like that. But Krishna just arranged. It all happened. It all happened. We had no money. We had no money when we got that place. And, Krishna just arranged.
And then there was one doctor came from Malaysia, and then he was some loan on a bhakti tree, and I think he paid some.
Bipul. That was Bipul, yeah.
Yes.
Bipul, yeah.
It just Krishna arranged
Yeah.
that everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's continue.
Yeah, so this is the essence. Prabhupada is saying this is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. That we serve Krishna and Krishna takes care of us, provides all of our needs. That's the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, it's not a practical philosophy. You know, if it's saying, you know, you just do devotional service and then what are you just going to die of starvation or something because you don't do anything for yourself? No, Krishna's going to look after you.
Even if you
I think the one
die,
problem devotees have is we eat too much. I never think a devotee's ever going to die of starvation. We'll maybe die of overeating. But if you die eating prasadam, that's a good thing. One time Tamal Krishna Goswami said, "Oh, we will die eating halava," because there was some devotees who were complaining that the prasadam was too rich and everything like that. And Tamal Krishna said, "Oh, we will die eating halava." All the devotees said, "Jai." But yeah, never a problem of under eating or not having enough. Sometimes Krishna gives more than what we can handle, isn't it? There's that famous story about Krishna approached.
But what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
well, we have to be cooking it, so it's not happening automatically.
No, I mean, like it's saying, the devotee is fully engaged in devotional service, and as a byproduct of that, you know, Krishna takes care of all of our needs. You know, that we are offering, our purpose is to offer nice food to Krishna, so automatically, you know, down the line we're going to be eating that as well. You build a nice temple for Krishna to live in. And where are you going to live? You're going to live in Krishna's temple. So you live in the same place Krishna's living. So you got a nice place to live as well. So that's automatically going to happen. You know, but your purpose, your motive is to do it for Krishna, and then you automatically get what you need as a side benefit. But you're not thinking about that I want to live in a beautiful palace or something. I want to eat really rich, nice food. No, but you automatically get that when you want to offer those things to Krishna because you're living with Krishna. That's what does it mean to be a devotee? It means the person that's living with God.
Living with the Krishna.
You're living with God. You got everything that God has.
Krishna is
the only difference is that he's the boss and you're the servant. One time Prabhupada said we are Krishna's slaves. That's a good position. Who wants to be Krishna's slave? Put up your hand. You know, it would be nice to be Krishna's slave. Because Krishna doesn't abuse his slaves. He's not like,
even if he does, we're going to go to Krishna Loka. Even if he does abuse it, we're the luckiest man on the planet.
And we're always going to be lucky if you come close to Krishna. Krishna's never going to exploit us or abuse us or whatever. He only has our best interest in mind. You know, so like I said, that story that Krishna had seen that his parents would barter for different goods they wanted with grains and so forth. So he saw a fruit seller outside of his house. So as a baby, he carried the grains in his palms. But because he's got a child's palms, that all fell out. So by the time he reached the fruit seller, all the grains had fallen out. So the fruit seller was so enamored seeing how beautiful Krishna was, how cute and everything. And even though he didn't have any grains to exchange to barter, she just loaded up his palms with the fruits from her basket. And she didn't care that she didn't get anything. And then Krishna walked away happy with his fruits, and she looked at her basket and it's full of jewels. And it's full of jewels. So, you know, you're never going to lose by giving to Krishna. You're never going to lose. So this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. You give everything to Krishna, and you're a winner. You're a winner when you give to Krishna. And if you don't give to Krishna, and you think you're going to keep it all for yourself, you're going to lose. You're going to lose everything. Because time, like they say, time and tide wait for no man. So with the time factor and everything, all your wealth is going to be taken away, your lifespan's going to be taken away, everything's going to be taken away. So before it gets taken away by time and so forth, by robbers and thieves and so forth, better to give it to Krishna and then you're going to get the credit for that, and you know, so many, and you're going to become ecstatic, blissful, like the fruit seller. Okay, let's look at text 12 and 13. Now Krishna has spoken the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Now, hearing that, Arjuna is going to give his realization. What is his realization? And Prabhupada explained many times about these verses 12 and 13. This is how Arjuna understood Bhagavad Gita. So following in his footsteps, this should be how we understand. How do we understand Bhagavad Gita? We should be following in Arjuna's footsteps. So what he is realizing, this is what we should realize. Okay, so let's read that. Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Param Brahma Param Dhamma.
Param Brahma Param Dhamma.
Pavitram Paramam Bhavan.
Pavitram Param Bhavan.
Purusham Shashvatam Divyam.
Purusham Shashvatam Divyam.
Adi Devam Majam Vibhum.
Madi Devam Vijam Vibhum.
Ahus Twam Rasaya Save.
Arustam Vish.
Deva Risir Naradastata.
Deva Rishi Nardastata.
Asito Devalo Vyasa.
Asito Devalo Vyasa.
Swayam Chaiva Bhavisime.
Swayam Chaiva Viveshime. Arjuna said, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest, all the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa confirm this truth about you. And now you yourself are declaring it to me.
So this is the understanding of Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's completely astonishing that so many versions of Bhagavad Gita, but hardly any one of them will mention this, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 99.9% of Bhagavad Gitas don't even say that Krishna is the supreme being, supreme person, you know.
Krishna
Some
is
will
one.
say that God is just light, or some say that it's just mythology, that Bhagavad Gita never took place. Some say that Pur, etc. means the body, as an analogy for the body, and the 5 Pandavas is an analogy for the 5 senses. Some say that it's not to the person Krishna that you should surrender, but to the impersonal one within Krishna, which is within everyone. The same impersonal Brahman is within everyone, that we should surrender not to the person Krishna. So it means so many speculators, but they have never understood Bhagavad Gita and never will understand Bhagavad Gita. But we can understand Bhagavad Gita in 1 second if we just follow in the footsteps of Arjuna, he has realized that Krishna is God, is the Supreme Person. So we should be following in the footsteps of Arjuna and understand it in that way. So how do we know that Krishna is God? Because
Narada and Arista Devala, they confirmed it.
Yes. So one way we know Krishna is God is because Krishna is saying he's God, right? So in 10.8, what does it say? Aham savasya prabhava mata savam pravadite iti matva bhajanti mam buddha bhava samavata. I am the source of the spiritual material worlds. Everything emanates from me. 10.8, that's the first of the seed verses. So in that verse, Krishna is saying he's God. Okay, so that's how we know that Krishna is God, because he's saying is God. But that's not enough, because anyone can say I'm God, like that. So Krishna's saying he's God. And then Arjuna is saying that he's God. Arjuna is saying here. Arjuna is saying that Krishna is God. Param Brahma, Param Dharma. You are the Supreme Person of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, unborn and greatest. So Krishna is saying he's God. Arjuna is saying that Krishna is God. But that's not only it. Now you've got two persons that are in agreement. But here's you've got a whole bunch more. Asita, Devala, Vyasada. And these are not just some guys that just fell out of the pub or something. These are like greatly perfect, transcendental sages, highly self-realized, control the mind and the senses, full of all good qualities, universal sages. They travel between planets without a plane. They're not just some, morons like that. So you got all these personalities all in agreement that Krishna is God. So that's how we can understand the truth like that. This is the best way to understand what is the truth, by hearing from authority. So Krishna is an authority, Arjuna is an authority, and then there's Asita, Devala, Vyasa, and so forth. So it's saying, and these are just a few examples. It's saying all the great sages, such as, so that's just a few examples of all the great sages. So there's thousands of them. We got the 12 Mahajans mentioned in Bhagavatam. Swayambur, Narada Shambhu. So Swayambur means Lord Brahma. So the first created being. I mean, if you can't get a greater authority than the first person in the universe. Lord Brahma is saying that Krishna is God. Narada, who's mentioned here also, is saying Krishna is God. Shambhu, Lord Shiva. He destroys the universe. He's not just some small fry. So he's saying that Krishna is God. Pralado, Janaka Bhismo. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying that Krishna is God. Janak, the father of Sita, living millions of years ago, the emperor of the planet, he said that Krishna is God. Bhishma Dev, the grandfather of Kuru dynasty, he's a incarnation of a great Vasu demigod. He said that Krishna is God. And Kumara, Kapilo, Manu. Kumara, the four Kumaras, the four mental sons of Lord Brahma, they all say that Krishna is God. Kapila Muni, an incarnation of God, he said that Krishna is God. And Manu, the father of mankind, Swami Manu, there's so many Manus, they all say that Krishna is God. And then
And
Balir, Vyasaki,
Prabhupada says Krishna is God.
Vyam. Bali Maharaj.
Is Krishna's God. He was the pure devotee of Krishna.
Who?
Prabhupada. He says.
Yeah, of course.
He's a pure devotee.
But I'm mentioning these 12 Mahajans. So then Bali Maharaj, Vyasaki means Shukadeva Goswami. So he's the son of Vyasadeva. He said that Krishna is God. And Vyam this is Yamaraj speaking. So the Lord of Death, Yama, he's also saying that Krishna is God. So you've got all the great authorities. They all point in the same direction, that Krishna is the Supreme Person of Godhead. And Lord Brahma said in his Brahma Samhita, Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval person, the first person. Adi Purusha. Adi means first, and Purusha means person. So that's important, that God is not just some light, some energy. He's a Purusha, means person. And Purusha also means male. So he's a male person, and he's the original person. The original person is Govinda, which is another name for Krishna. So there you have it. This is the way to understand Bhagavad Gita, following in the footsteps of Arjuna and understanding it the way he understood. He's accepting that what Krishna is saying is the truth. And not only Krishna is saying, but like I said, but all the great sages are saying. And Arjuna is seeing by Krishna's activities, that he is God also. And very soon we're going to see that in the 11th chapter. What is the 11th chapter title? Who knows?
The universal form.
Universal form. Virat Roop.
Yeah. So in that chapter, just in case you have any doubts, well, anyone can say that he's God. Krishna's just saying that he's God. But why do we have to believe what he's saying? But then Krishna shows, he demonstrates, okay, here's the whole universe displayed in one place. So for all those future people that are going to just say that I'm God, you worship me. But then we should do what Arjuna did, show your universal form, you know. But none of these other idiots are going to be show any kind of form, what to speak of a universal form. But so that's the thing. So there's a saying, put your money where your mouth is. So Krishna's saying that he's God, but he proves it. He shows it. So how can there be any doubt? He showed, and many of the personalities, great personalities on the battlefield saw that universal form. Not everyone saw it because, like it's, like I was saying, you have to be qualified to see God. So the regular soldiers, they didn't necessarily see. But, Bhishma Dev saw Vyasadeva, who was away from the battlefield. He could also see Sanjaya. Of course, he's relaying this. He's sitting in New Delhi in Hastinapur, and he's seeing the universal form. He could see that by the mercy of his guru,
And
Vyasadeva.
Vidur.
Yeah, Vidura like that. So, very pure-hearted devotees, so they could all see the universal
Pure
form
devotee.
like that. And Krishna he had shown a different universal form, a partial one, previous to this, even before the Battle of Kurukshetra, in Hastinapur, when Duryodhana had planned to attack Krishna. Krishna came as a messenger on behalf of the Pandavas to say, come on, let's try to make peace. We don't want to do this fight.
And
He
trying to
came as a
arrest him.
peace messenger. And Duryodhana is such a rascal, evil, demoniac rascal, that he attacked the messenger. You never do that. If you got two enemies and they send a messenger, you never, ever, it's like an unspoken rule, you never attack the messenger. But he attacked the messenger. He had all of his troops come in, and Krishna just displayed the universal form and freaked everyone out. Everyone would have peed their pants, shat their pants, and they're just so scary. Seeing the whole universe in one place, all the demons and demigods and fire coming out of the mouth and everything, and things getting devoured up and everything like that. Completely freaky, awesome thing to see. So he'd already displayed it as well, but these demons, they're so dense. They just won't accept. That's the thing. There's a saying, and I heard this first from one lovely disciple of Prabhupada, Bhakti Vishrama Madhava Maharaj. He came to New Gokula, and I think he might have come to the Bhakti tree. I don't know, he might have.
No.
Jayanti? No, he didn't come.
And he
But he
didn't, I
came.
don't think he didn't come to New Gokula either. He came to Wellington Temple.
I thought he came to New Gokula.
No.
I'm sure he did. He did.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
But
He did.
not the tree.
Yeah, maybe not the Bhakti tree. Anyway, he told me it's an old saying. This is a really good one. A man convinced against his will maintains the same opinion still. It's an old English saying. A man convinced against his will maintains the same opinion still. It's like that if you're so stubborn and you really don't want to accept something, even though you're convinced, by given very good logic and reasoning and argument, you're given all the best reasoning and logic and argument. But if you're determined that I don't want to accept whatever it is, you won't accept it. A man convinced against his will means you don't want it. I don't want to accept this. So if you're determined that I do not want to accept that Krishna is God, you know, like that, then even someone gives you all the logic and reasoning argument, you won't accept it. You won't accept, you know. You think, oh, I'm God. You know, Krishna is not God. I'm God. You know, so even though you prove it that Krishna is God, but you won't accept because he's very determined that he's God or some other stupid idea like that. And we have experienced that many times, you know, distributing books and so forth. You give very convincing arguments and so forth. And many times with Christians, you can absolutely give such good logic and reasoning why we shouldn't kill animals. But they would always come to the same, you know, end conclusion. So I like my meat. What can you do if someone says that? I like my meat. You know, it says thou shalt not kill and blah blah blah. It's just not good for compassion, makes the heart hard and everything. Like it's bad for the environment, it's bad for your health. Everything you can say, all the right things. It's karma, bad karma. As you sow, so shall you reap. What goes around comes around. You know, but at the end they say, "Oh, well, I like my meat. What can you do?"
It's
They're
like
just so attached to satisfying their senses.
it's like a tail of the dog. You put in the pipe for 6 months, you take the pipe out, still is bent.
Yeah. So this is the thing.
Anyway,
So just attached to sense gratification, you know, so attached to mental speculation, then what to do, you know?
there's a one guy, he's arguing that, you know, you got these teeth is for meat, you know, with the sharpened one.
You're 2 out of 20. That's not very good percentage.
No. But my argument was there. I said, look, you know what? Have you seen the chimpanzee? He's got a longest teeth than these
Yeah.
sharpened one, but he's vegetarian. How can you justify that? He only
Yeah.
eat the grass and fruit and leaves and all that. He's got a longer teeth than that tiger, these ones.
Yeah.
So how he become vegetarian? It's nothing to do with that, but you can't convince them. That's okay. Leave them.
Yeah, they're just attached to sense gratification, their own sense gratification.
And then there's just so many vegetarian good dishes. If I can give the book, and they stop eating meat. You know, if you had an artist book, oh my God, and a Kuma, you know, that the book for the vegetarian dishes is so great. Anyway,
we had these Korean group of meat eaters come who had
you
organized this catering. And they giant head cooked, and we served a bit, and I made some sweets and stuff like that. And every mouthful, they were going, "Wow, wow, wow, wow,
you know
wow!"
what?
You know, so it's like
one time when I was married, some stage, and I cooked that one day for my in-laws. I said, "You guys sit down. I'm gonna cook that." I cooked some dal and some chapati and some sabji as well. And then I said, "Okay, dinner's ready." Ding ding. Everybody come to the dinner table, and then he drink the dal and eat the meat and look at the roti, the bread I did, and look at me. And I said, "Do you need anything?" He said, "Where's the food?" I said, "There's the food." He said, "Where's the meat?" There was no, because no meat means no food. That's what they are. I said, no, this is the food. And then he looked at me and then look at his wife, my mother-in-law, and look at my wife. And then they just took the meat pie out of the freezer and then just put in the microwave and eating.
Nonsense, yeah. Yeah, it's just like Prabhupada said, remember that due to the contamination of material association through many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. So that's the thing. That's the thing. Our heart is so covered with rubbish. But somehow or other, if we get the opportunity to, you know, engage in devotional service, then it becomes purified. The best way to start people is with prasadam. I've seen that. You know, even they're just crazy materialistic addicts, but prasadam is like a secret weapon. And I've seen it change people, so many change people just by taking prasadam. And then, you know, in the beginning, you know, these people, they didn't even come to the Friday kirtans at the Bhakti Tree, but they started off taking prasadam, and then after some time coming for prasadam, then they come Friday night kirtan, and then coming Friday night kirtan, then coming to the soul searching session and so forth.
But I didn't see them. You know, they come now. Like they don't come. Like I work in the Bhakti Tree after even the COVID happened and the Friday Kirtan finished. But I was there, and but they didn't come. Like, they don't come there anymore. I know regular, those who come to the Kirtan on that time, because I was there. I know everyone because I was at the counter charging the money and selling the drinks. But they don't come. I don't know where they're gone. Like, a lot of people there, like, they disappear. Like, I know we got a COVID happen. After COVID, restaurant back to normal. But I didn't see any of them. Maybe one or two, that's it. But I don't know where they're gone. We're still in the business. Bhakti tree is still there. We're making the prasadam.
It's the business. It's not bhakti.
Yeah, but you know,
No, we don't know. Krishna has some plan. Anyway, even like I said, even someone chants Hare Krishna once, that's like eternal credit and purifies their heart. So definitely, at least their next life is going to be very fortunate that they've chanted the holy name of the Lord. They've taken prasadam. So yeah, it's a great credit. But yeah, let's get back to this verse then. So yeah, this verse is Arjuna's giving his realization that Krishna is God. And like he says at the end, and now you are yourself declaring it to me. And like I said, 10.8, that's Krishna is declaring it to Arjuna that he's God. But then all the great sages are also saying. So this is how you want to get evidence. Not just from one place. You need to get it from many places, and when it lines up, that's very safe. Very safe. If you only get someone tells you something from one source, but you can't find any other sources that match up, then that's a bit risky. You're like tottering like that. But if you're hearing from many different authorities and it's all lining up in agreement, then that's very secure. So like we say that, right? Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. You want to have all those lined up.
And the most important thing is, it just comes inside you. You pour down and just like a danda in front of Krishna. And it's like, I know their sages are there, but inside you, the voice will come. Yes, that's it. You pour down, I'm not going to get up. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, if you're hearing about some process from some authority, if you follow that and you get a good result, then that's a good sign if you get a good result. Like I'm trying to do some stuff for my health, and I read this one Ayurveda authority, Vasant Lad. He's a very well-known Ayurvedic doctor. He's written many books. And he was saying, drink some ghee, liquid ghee in the morning, early in the morning. And I did that in the morning. I had some really good results, and my stomach has immediately improved.
Did you put in the warm water? You didn't put the warm
What's
water?
that?
The ghee, how do you drink the ghee in the morning? In the warm water or?
No, just melt it so it's warm ghee, about a quarter of a cup
Just
of
straight
warm
drinks,
ghee. And I just drunk
global
it
it.
just like that.
Okay.
And yeah, my stomach feels heaps better. So he gives a process for 3 days, drink that ghee in the morning, and then just have a mono diet, means just eat one thing. So in this case, khichdi. So just eat khichdi for a few days. And then there's called basti. Basti means like enema. So then you put this oil up your backside, sesame oil or something like that. And like that. So this is a process here. But I've already the first day already started to get good result. So that's making me think, wow, maybe what he's saying is correct because I'm getting good result. So there's a Vedic saying, phalena parichyate. You judge a process by the result it gives. So what are some good results? You'd be happy, right? So if we follow the Krishna conscious process and you get happiness as a result, that must be a good process, right? Prabhupada said, chant and be happy, isn't it? That's what he said in the very beginning when he was spreading this message of Krishna consciousness, chant and be happy. So if you get the happiness through chanting, then the chanting means the process must be good. The chanting process must be good because you're becoming happy. He said they were dull-faced, morose hippies. Now they've become bright-faced happies. They went from dirty hippies to bright-faced happies. So that means the process must be good. Process must be good if it's giving good results. Okay, Bhakti Mala, do you want to start reading the purport, or Jayanti? She's in the impersonal Brahman. We can't see her form. You just see them.
Phone is to die anytime. This,
Don't worry about Mataji. Everybody die one day anyway. That's okay.
I know it's all okay. All right,
Anyway,
where am I reading from?
the purport, 12:13 text in these two verses.
Yeah, from the start. Yeah. In these two verses, the Supreme Lord gives a chance to the modern philosopher for hearing.
Mayavadi.
Does your one say modern?
Her phone died.
Your one says modern. Yeah, you reading the original Bhagavad Gita?
No, I'm reading a slightly different one, I guess.
Your one
You
says
sure?
modern, does it?
Is the Prabhupada or is that different Bhagavad Gita you're reading, Mataji?
We do know the Bhagavad Gita has been changed, so
It's been fiddled around with, unfortunately. Yeah, that's what's.
this is 1972 and then 1986. So I guess this is the older version.
It's
Oh,
okay.
okay. Anyway, we
Well,
understand. Yeah.
listen to me now. Please listen to me. In
Yeah.
these two verses, the Supreme Lord gives a chance to the modern philosopher. For here, it is clear that the Supreme is different from the individual soul. Arjuna, after hearing the essential 4 verses of Bhagavad Gita in this chapter, became completely free from all doubts and accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He at once boldly declares, "You are Param Brahma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead." And previously, Krishna stated that he is the originator of everything and everyone. Every demigod and every human being is dependent on him. Men and demigods, out of ignorance, think that they are absolute and independent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That ignorance is removed perfectly by the discharge of devotional service. This has already been explained in the previous verse by the Lord. Now, by his grace, Arjuna is accepting him as the supreme truth in concordance with the Vedic injunction. It is not that because Krishna is Arjuna's intimate friend, Arjuna is flattering him by calling him the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth. Whatever Arjuna says in these two verses is confirmed by Vedic truth. Vedic injunctions affirm that only one who takes to devotional service to the Supreme Lord can understand him, whereas others cannot. Each and every word of this verse spoken by Arjuna is confirmed by Vedic injunction. You want me to
do you want to say anything about that? That comes to mind?
Well, it just shows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there's no two ways about it. And the main thing is, even if we say things, it's I mean, the main thing to understand is it should have some Vedic backing. Like in this case, even though Arjuna is saying things, it has been confirmed in the Vedas what he's saying. He's not just made it up. Like Prabhupada's pointing out here that that just because Arjuna is a friend of Krishna, he's not just flattering him. He's stating the truth. So when we
and interesting. After that, Prabhupada says after about flattering him because he's a friend, it says that Vedic injunctions affirm that only one who takes the devotional service to the Supreme Lord can understand him, whereas others cannot. So Prabhupada's turned that around. That you could criticize that Arjuna's flattering Krishna that he's God because he's Arjuna's friend. But then Prabhupada's point here is that the Vedas say that unless you engage in devotional service, which means you become like a friend of God, then you can't understand him. And that's here mentioned in 10:10. So to those who constantly devoted to serve me with love, I give them the understanding by which they can come to me. So unless you engage in devotional service, means like become a friend of God, then only you can understand him. So some people might criticize, Arjuna is just flattering Krishna that he's God because he's a friend. But then the point here is, unless you become a friend of God, then you can't understand him. But then the final point is, in any case, whatever Arjuna is saying here is backed up by the Vedic scriptures. So that's the extra evidence. Okay, Bhakti Mala, you want to read?
In the Kena Upanishad, it is stated that the Supreme Brahman is the rest for everything, and Krishna has already explained that everything is resting on him. In the Mundaka Upanishad, the Mundaka Upanishad confirms that the Supreme Lord, in whom everything is resting, can be realized only by those who engage constantly in thinking of him. This constant thinking of Krishna is smaranam, one of the methods of devotional service. It is only by devotional service to Krishna that one can understand his position and get rid of this material body. In the Vedas, the Supreme Lord is accepted as the purest of the pure. One who understands that Krishna is the purest of the pure can become purified from all sinful activities. One cannot be disinfected from sinful activities unless he surrenders unto the Supreme Lord. Arjuna's acceptance of Krishna as the Supreme Pure complies with the injunctions of Vedic literature. This is also confirmed by great personalities, of whom Narada is the chief. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and one should always meditate upon him and enjoy one's transcendental relationship with him. He is the supreme existence. He is free from bodily needs, birth, and death. Not only does Arjuna confirm this, but all the Vedic literatures, the Puranas, and histories. In all Vedic literatures, Krishna is thus described, and the Supreme Lord himself also says in the 4th chapter, "Although I am unborn, I appear on this earth to establish religious principles." He is the supreme origin. He has no cause, but he is the cause of all causes, and everything is emanating from him. This perfect knowledge can be had by the grace of the Supreme Lord. Here Arjuna expresses himself through the grace of Krishna. If we want to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should accept the statements in these 2 verses. This is called parampara system, acceptance of the disciplic succession. Unless one is in the disciplic succession, he cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. It is not possible by so-called academic education. Unfortunately, those proud of their academic education, despite so much evidence in Vedic literatures, stick to their obstinate conviction that Krishna is an ordinary person.
Bhakti Mala, does anything come to mind here you want to say?
Not really, no, sorry.
That's fine. So when you started speaking in the Kena Upanishad, it is stated that the Supreme Brahman is the rest for everything. Krishna has already explained that everything is resting on him. So Prabhupada's bringing it up because in the verse Arjuna is saying that Param Dharma, so that means he is the supreme resting place. Everything is resting on him. Param Brahma means that he is the supreme truth. Param Brahma, he's the supreme truth, means he's the supreme personality of Godhead. Param Dharma means he is the, everything is resting on him. Everything is resting on him. Everything is sustained by him. Like that. Just like in the universe, if you just look at the universal scale, what is everything in the universe is sustained by what? One thing. What is everything in the universe is sustained by one thing or resting on one thing. If you took that one thing out, everything else falls apart.
That is a thread, is like a beads all in there. But if you take the thread out, all the beads go.
That's a good example, yeah. But in terms of the universe, what is that one thread? That everything.
Thread.
What is everything in the universe depends on what? This is just materially speaking.
Oh.
Materially
Like the
speaking.
sun.
The sun,
Yeah.
yeah, the sun. So everything in the universe is sustained by or resting on the sun, right? So when it's said that Krishna is the supreme resting place or sustained, that means he's like that. That without Krishna, even the sun doesn't exist. Then what does the sun rest on? What is the sun stained by? Is Krishna. So everything, Krishna's like it's said in that 10:10, that I am the source of the spiritual material worlds. Everything emanates from me. So, Krishna is the ultimate resting place. He sustains everything, just like the sun sustains the universe. Well, Krishna sustains even the sun. The sun and the moon are compared to the eyes, the two eyes of Krishna's universal form, like that. But let's look at that nice analogy that Gulshan gave. I think that's 7:7, 7th chapter, 7th verse, about the thread.
It's really comforting to know that somebody's in charge. Like, or that Krishna's in charge, like with the Bhakti tree at the moment, the Joshua and Patapana are kind of making decisions, and it sort of gives you a sense that, okay, someone's in charge now, and that's really comforting. But to know Krishna's in charge and that everything rests on him, that's really comforting as well. I think if you don't have that knowledge, that you can just get so carried away by everything that's going on in the world at the moment,
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Oh, the conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything as pearl has thread.
Yeah, everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread.
Yeah, I think was that verse, yeah.
So it's such a nice analogy. Krishna's like the thread, and everything that exists is like little pearls. So little pearls, but Krishna holds everything together. If you just pull that string out, then all the little pearls are just going to be scattered. So then that's one way we can know that God must be there. Because if God was not there, then everything would be like chaos. It would just be completely chaos. The fact that all the planets go in orbit like that and the seasons go the same way every time, spring, summer, autumn, winter, like that everything is so organized. We see there's a lot of intelligence, a lot of organization. We can tell.
I can see that the tree outside, like we like a leaf, and Krishna is a tree. Leaf will never know about the tree, and then tree, whenever they wants to be, leaf get yellow and then fall down. The leaf only can love the tree. That's all he can do.
Okay.
And the tree is a Krishna.
Yes.
Leaf never know about the tree. Tree, anytime he wants to be, can the leaf get yellow and then fall down? It's up to the tree. So only the leaf can do, just love the tree. That's all.
Where in the Bhagavad Gita does it talk about a tree? Do you know?
The banyan tree.
Very good, very good. Where is that mentioned?
15th chapter, text 1.
Yeah. So let's go to the beginning of the 15th chapter.
Okay, looks like my phone's going to go now. It's on its way out. So if I crash out, I crash out. That's it.
Where is it going? Your phone is going somewhere. Has it got legs?
It's
Has your
gonna
phone got legs, is
crash.
it?
It's going to a crash course. It's going to be charged very soon. There's hardly any battery, and then you're going to be upset with me for this.
It's a Boeing. Is it going or is a Boeing 707?
Well, we're
gonna get
nearly
crashed?
finished in 5 minutes anyway, so that you can just leave. Don't hurt yourself or by the phone. You should have just put it on charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you head off when you need to head off. No, we're just about done. So someone can read that text one.
Text 1 on 15.
Yeah.
The Supreme Personality of God has said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upwards and it branches down, and whose leaves are in the Vedic Herman. One who knows this tree is the Lord of the Vedas.
Next one, text 2.
Next one comes. The branches of this tree extend downwards and upwards, nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the object of senses. This tree also has a root going down, and these are born the fruiting action of human society.
And the next one, 3 and 4.
The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where its ends, where its begin, where its foundation is. But the determination one must cut down this strong tree with judgment. Thereafter, one must seek that place from which, having gone, one never return, and their surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorable.
Yeah.
Mm.
So where have we seen an upside down tree?
Well, our body is upside down tree because this is the roots and the fruit comes out of there.
You got a fertile brain, Gulshan. No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about where have you seen an upside down tree?
In the reflection of the.
Because if you look
Yeah,
at
in
it,
the water.
this is
On the bank of
if you
on,
look at
on the
body,
bank of a river or a lake, you can see the reflection of the tree. It looks like it's upside down, and in that case, the root is upwards and the branches are downwards. So why is this analogy used here? Because the whole material world is compared to an upside down tree. Why? Because it's a reflection of the spiritual world. This material world is a reflection of the spiritual world. Prabhupada said everything that's here is in the spiritual world. I mean, there's birds here, there's birds in the spiritual world, there's animals here, there's animals in the spiritual world, there's humans here, there's humans there, like that. There's trees here, there's trees in the spiritual world. But here is a reflection of the original. This is just a reflection. So we have to get out of the reflection and go back to the original. And that's like it's said by the weapon of detachment. We have to cut down this reflection and go back to the original, like that, which is the spiritual world. In this reflection, everything's temporary and full of ignorance and suffering. But in the original, it's eternal, full of knowledge and bliss, Satchit Ananda. So here everything is opposite. So there it's eternal, here it's temporary, there it's full of knowledge, here it's full of ignorance, and there it's full of bliss, here it's full of ignorance. So, but yeah, that's the original. So whenever there's a reflection, you know there must be an original, isn't it? Like if you see that upside down tree in the water, you know there must be a real tree. So that's what it's indicating, you know, just this world is illusory, but there must be some original form, original nature from which this illusion has come.
If you see the disciple, there must be a guru.
Correct.
It can't be possible without Guru, that disciple exist.
Yes. So, yeah, just one or two more little things about our verse for today. 10, 12, and 13. So Prabhupada just elaborates a little bit on some of the things in the verse. Like I mentioned, it talks about Param Dharma. So Prabhupada talks about that Krishna is the rest for everything. Everything's resting on him. And also it mentions Pavitram. Pavitram means pure. So Krishna, Arjuna is saying, Krishna, you are the purest. So, and then Prabhupada mentions about that purest of the pure. And one who understands that Krishna is the purest of the pure can become purified of all sinful reactions. So that's interesting. So just by understanding that Krishna is the purest, we are going to become purified of our sinful reactions. So you might think, how am I going to get free from all sinful reactions? It's not that hard. Just we have to understand that Krishna is pure. Just by knowing that, we are going to become purified. Just by associating with Krishna. Because Krishna is so pure, even though we're so impure, so contaminated by sins and so forth, just by coming close to Krishna, then we're automatically going to become pure.
It's what is called that, one of the things they touch the gold, the steel become a gold.
The touchstone.
Yeah, that's it. Krishna is the touchstone, and then
Yeah.
we just like that. If it's going to touch with the Krishna, we become
the
gold.
touchstone, if you touch it to some iron, that iron will become gold. That iron will become gold. So just like when we chant Hare Krishna, we're coming in contact with Krishna. He's pure. So then we become pure. The prasadam has been offered to Krishna, that food. So that food is pure. And we eat that food, then we become pure. That's the idea through association. How have we become so impure, so sinful? Because we've been associating with things that are sinful and impure. Now we have to reverse that. Now, instead of associating with impure, sinful things, we need to associate with something that is pure. The Lord, his devotees, the holy name, the prasadam, so forth, like that. And Prabhupada mentions about that he's unborn, the original person, like that. And then finally, Prabhupada mentions about you can only understand the Bhagavad Gita through the parampara system. Have to be connected with the parampara system. This is a system. We're understanding from Arjuna, so we're getting the real truth. Without that help from Arjuna, without that help from Prabhupada, without that help from our spiritual masters, then we can't understand the truth. So this is very, very essential. Not by speculation or any other way can we understand what the reality is, but through the disciplic session. And it's the same with anything. You understand the knowledge from an authority. If you want to become can you become a lawyer just by looking at books? No, you have to learn it from a lawyer. Can you become a doctor just by looking at books or thinking about it? No, you have to learn from a doctor. If you want to become a expert chef or whatever, you learn from a chef, so you're someone that's expert in that subject. You have to follow them and, learn from them, take the knowledge from them, and they'll help you. And, if you have questions, you can ask them like that. And that's the way you progress in any field. So what to speak of the spiritual field, that's even more important. But even an ordinary material subject, you have to learn it from some expert in that field like that, and then you can progress. And Gloria Jeans, right? You probably got trained up by someone that was already doing
6 week
glory.
training.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that was your parampara and glory genes.
Yeah, everything has to be learned.
You have to. You can't. How could you think that you could have done it without that 6 weeks training? You wouldn't know what to do. You wouldn't have any idea what to do.
From driving a car or anything there, you have to be only one thing. Start walking. You don't learn from anywhere. You just fall, get up and walk, fall, get up and walk. A little child, 1-year-old, fall, get up and walk. He didn't learn from there. So nobody teach him that. He just fall, get up and walk, fall, get up and walk.
But there is someone actually. You know who that is?
Yeah, holding the finger, mother. Holding
No,
the finger.
that's there, but also there's
course.
the super soul in the heart is guiding. Because actually we walked in our previous life. So we've already walked in our previous life.
Yeah.
And then you just slowly you're reminded by the Lord in the heart. The Lord in the heart is telling you, you know, get up again and have another go. Get up again, have another go, get up again. And then you get a little bit of assistance from the parent as well. But yeah, the Lord in the heart is guiding all the living entities, you know, what to do in terms of eating and, you know, sleeping and, you know, our activities and stuff like that. This is what we call intuition. You know, intuition, there's other words for it like that, but it's actually the super soul in the heart as guiding. And that's in 1861. Krishna says that in 1861. I'm guiding all living entities. I am the super soul in everyone's heart. Ishram, Sarvabhutanam, Hridashi, Arjuna Tistati.
Yeah.
So I'm.
The Supreme Personality is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and it's directing the wandering of all living entity who are seared as a machine made of the material energy.
This body's a yantra, it's a machine. But who is guiding the machine? That's Krishna is in the heart is guiding the machine. This body is a machine, it's just matter, a machine made of matter. But Krishna is guiding the machine. You know, like get up and go there, talk to that person, like that. So many times we get guided
Hey,
to.
Prabhu. In class yesterday, or in the group yesterday, that we were talking about the super soul and the individual soul, and we were talking about. I tried to use that example that you told me about the drop of water and the ocean as that. You know what I'm talking about, but one of the ladies said, so it's like, and I didn't know what to say to this. So I just said, I'm not sure about that. She said, so that the super soul's like the sky and the individual soul's like the clouds. And I said, well, I haven't had it explained like that before.
Fertile,
so I'm not
fertile
quite sure.
brain. That's called a fertile brain, yeah.
I said, I don't know about
no, but
that.
the drop of water in the ocean, that's a different analogy for some other thing. That's nothing to do with the super soul, you know, guiding us. The drop of water in the ocean that's the analogy for that we are one with Krishna in quality, but different in quantity. So that example of the drop of water in the ocean is used for that, as an example for that we are one in quality with God, but different in quantity, just like the drop of water is the same quality as the ocean, but different quantity. Or also another analogy is like the sun and the sunshine, and another analogy is the fire and the little spark. So we're like the spark and Krishna's like the fire. So same quality but different quantity. So that's not used. Those analogies aren't used for the super soul.
No, it sort of started there, but it ended up somewhere different. I should have explained it better, but that's what I was explaining, what you were saying, that we're part and parcel and the quality thing. I was explaining that, but that's when she said about the cloud and the
Okay.
sky after I explained the water one. And I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah.
oh, I wonder
Yeah.
if Abhay's ever heard that before. People explaining it like the sky and the clouds and things. That same in quality, not in quantity. Because it's like I didn't really understand it. I mean, what do you say when people say things like that to you that you don't understand?
Yeah, well,
And
it's
you
just
haven't,
it's not as good as
I need
analogy.
to go to move my
yeah.
car.
Yep.
I need to
Yes,
go to
sure.
move my car. Okay. Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
good to see you, Gulshan. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
what
just
are
the
you supposed
analogy
to
is not as
say?
good. Yeah, the analogy is not as good because the cloud is a bit different than the sky. The cloud that's not the same. It's
Yes.
different. The
Yeah.
cloud is, in one sense, the cloud is smaller than the sky. That's good. But where is the qualitative oneness? It's not qualitatively the same. It's
Yes. Okay.
inside the sky. The cloud is inside the sky. That's all right. But the quality is not the same. The sky, the cloud and the sky are different. But the water, the drop of water in the ocean and the sunshine, the sun planet is a good analogy because qualitatively it's the same.
I
And
think I'll go back to her and say that because I was a bit like they were going mad yesterday and asking all these questions, and I was just sitting there going, uh, I don't know about that.
no, that's good. You should
And
do that. If you don't know, don't make up stories.
no, I'm not
But
going to
yeah,
make up things.
just go
And
as
then,
far as your realization. So just go as far
yeah,
as your realization.
and that's not that
And
far.
Prabhupada said, if you can't understand something, just keep reading it. Just keep reading it
But
again and again.
that's what I said to them. I said, this is the first time you've ever seen this and
Yeah.
put in this way. Let's just keep reading.
Yeah, just
And,
keep reading.
you
It'll
know,
become
and
clear.
I said, you've got to read the whole chapter before next week because, like, I can't explain the whole thing in 5 minutes and they want really quick answers. And I'm like, I'm not quick at this. It takes lifetimes to understand this stuff, you know. But I
It's
think,
good for you
yeah,
because it's pushing you to learning more and like that. To be
it
able to answer their
is
questions, you have to learn more. So that's good. It's
more.
pushing you towards becoming more knowledgeable in
It
the
is
scriptures and
really
everything.
testing me. But thanks for sending through that voice message with about the expansions and incarnations of Krishna and the table. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
And we've got a WhatsApp group, so I've shared
Yeah.
it on the chat,
Oh, yeah.
and they were really impressed with that.
Okay.
And some of them, like Helen, went away and looked up a lot of
Okay.
expansions and incarnations. She said that she learned a lot and she learned who Lord Chaitanya was and everything. So she's been
Wow.
doing a lot.
Cool.
They got a lot out of the table and they wanted to
Okay.
see it. They wanted to see it in front of their faces. So
Yeah.
that was really helpful too. So thanks
Awesome.
for that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's
But
good.
now I'll work on that sunshine one, the analogy, and
Yeah.
I'll
And
bring that.
the
Yeah.
spark and the fire, the
Yes.
sunshine and the sun planet and the drop of water in the ocean. They're good analogies for that we're qualitatively one with God, but different in quantity. But yeah, the super soul, yeah, that's not usually. One example of the super soul is like there's two birds in a tree.
Oh
Two
yeah.
birds in a tree. And one bird is enjoying the fruits, and the other bird is just watching, just witnessing the other bird. So the tree is the analogy for the body. The tree is like the body. So in the body, there's two birds. What's that? So that's the one is the analogy. What the bird eating the fruits is us, the individual soul. We're trying to enjoy in this material world through our senses. Like the bird eating the fruits, and the other bird that's just watching, that's compared to the super soul. So that's the analogy given for understanding the soul and the super soul in the body, is the two birds in the tree. One is enjoying the fruits and one is just witnessing, just watching.
I'll remember that one to bring back. they're really testing me.
That's good. That's good for you. It'll help you accelerate your understanding.
But
And
I'm
it's
not,
good that they're
I'm not,
inquisitive. It's
yeah.
good that they're inquisitive, you know, and have lots of questions. That's a good sign.
Oh, they're very enthusiastic because
Good.
yeah.
That's
So
great.
yeah, no, it is good.
And credit to you for
Yeah.
organizing that and they're becoming enthusiastic. That's great.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Welcome. Hare
See you
Krishna.
soon. Hare Krishna.
Yes.